Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's daily meeting. Today is Friday. Glad to see you all on. All right. It is Everything is Perfect Tour Day. Okay. Okay. We got a show today. Okay. Not as good as you think is the name of the show. Okay. Not as good as you think. We're excited. And so y'all know if you have ever experienced Mr. Antonio Teachman Jr. in person, it is what they call an experience. Okay. It's like when people ask you, well, how does chocolate taste? I can't tell you that. You got to experience that for yourself. Being in person with Antonio, you got to experience it for yourself. You really can't describe that. Okay. So we are excited, but we're glad to have you all on for the daily meeting. We're still on the quest for you. Okay. Today is day 12. We've put the notes in. I put the notes in the chat. I'll put them in again as people are continuing to come in, and we're excited. All right. All right. And we have our illustrious founder and CEO of the ATSJR companies, millionaire and billionaire maker, innovator creator, all the way from Galveston, G-Town, Texas.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. He trying to get them angles right, y'all. Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr.
It's much easier on a laptop that's stable or an iMac stable. This cell phone thing is, yes. I think we did pretty good yesterday. Thank all of you for being here and what are we talking about today? Not as good as you think, I believe is what today is. Appreciate all of you who donated tickets to other people. Sometimes people are in down seasons, and it's always good to receive a blessing in a down season. Always good to receive a blessing in a down season. That's for sure. I wanted to let's highlight some giving opportunities I want to do in the future. So the inmates at the Terror Unit have tablets. There you go. They have tablets now. Yes, and it's actually a pretty cool thing. They have tablets now, and it's $21 for stamps. Now I have to explain to y'all what that means. They have something called e-messaging, it's not just $21 for stamps. I'm sorry. There are other prices. The maximum price, Jerome, is $21 for 50 stamps. I have no idea what the other ones are. You can actually look it up. You can go to the people who run the American prison system, or at least in Texas. It's called Securus. So you can go .net. Dan is going to post that in the link, post in the chat now. I'm sure you can get the information there. Janice, all I know is I buy the $21 package for 50 stamps. That's the highest one that they do. So I have no idea about the other ones. But during some time moving forward, what I would like to do is have us be responsible for gifting, people who like supporting indigent people. You get what I'm saying? Just, if that's not your thing, just let me talk to everybody else for a moment, okay? Because a lot of you all, there's a lot of programming. A lot of y'all think just because you're in jail, you're a criminal. That is not the truth at all. It's not the truth. And even if you are a criminal, have you been regurgitated? That's not the word. Rehabilitated, all right? Yeah, right. Have you been rehabilitated? And of course, everybody does the time. Does the crime does the time. But you can go to jail for, I don't know, public intoxication. That doesn't make you a criminal. It makes you a dumbass. It doesn't make you a criminal. Just because it just makes you break the law. All laws are not crimes. They're breaking the law. All right. So just remember that. But anyway, $21 would bless in with 50 stamps. Now that depends on how they use those stamps. That's pictures. That could be every time you send a message back and forth, they use a stamp. They use a stamp. It's not like text message. Of course, all things are scrutinized to they look at the picture, making sure the picture is not a roadmap to Shawshank Redemption, or they read the letter and make sure it's not, some terroristic plot to hurt the warden or whatever they do. I have no idea what they do, but whatever they do, that's what they do. But I think it's a beautiful thing. I want to focus on two areas as we move forward. And this is just the benevolency of, I don't know. A company ought to do something for the community. If not, then we're a casino. We just sit in the community and just rob that community of resources. We don't want to do that. Inmates and adopting children, I want to go for both ends of the spectrum. I want us to use compassion, put compassion.com so Compassion International. I think it's something like $21 or something, $31 to adopt a child, and then stamps. So we both ends of the spectrum. These people can do nothing for us, but there is a quote. I can't remember who said it. Somebody way smarter than me, Jerome. I think it was the dean of motivation. I think it was him. Earl Nightingale. There's only one. I got like 5 quotes in my head, and they come up every now and then. You can tell the quality of a man by how he treats those who would do nothing for him. So that's kind of what we want to be in the future. You understand? If we are to be blessed, amen. If we are to be blessed, we need to first give blessings. I know you didn't come here and expect that, but I know we're about to take holiday break. And not that we won't necessarily do it Monday, but I know that we're about to, and I know this is going to be some of the last times in front of you before we just watching movies and kicking back and chilling. So this is appropriate time. This is appropriate time for me to tell you. Expect us to have, well, I've already got the account set up, but expect us just $21 at a time, $30 at a time to fix the world. I'm going when I do finish Allenbrook, I'm going to figure out some way, some percentage. I have to look at it. It used to be, if you haven't guessed it, I've slick side put Ricasa in Allenbrook. It's if you just think about it, it's exactly the $8.99. If you think about it, that is exactly. When I always say Ricasa is coming back, that's exactly what it is. It's just that subscription model, and I had it to where so if it's $8.99, that's $9. Well, let's just say $8.50 processing fees both ways. So say $8.50. So what's 40% of $8.50? Because we know 60% of $8.50, excuse me. So we know, let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. This is now, you can now take notes here because now I'm talking to February 1st stuff. You should share your screen too. Yeah, because everything's entertainment and we don't know who's going to watch this later. Share your screen. So I'm looking for 60% of $8.99. Well, actually, let's do this here. Let's do this here. Let's get the proper number. That's going to be 8 to 9 total subscriptions. 99. Let's do. Hold on, I got you. Don't do it. 99 cents. $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99, $6.99, $7.99, $8.99. So that's 9. There's 9 subscriptions. So you need to do $8.99, and then you need to divide that by 9. Now we get the average subscription. Is that really $1? Well, then we need to plan for $1 because unless I just make it $8.99, we need to plan. You know what? I'm just going to make it $8.99. We'll solve that problem right now. So scratch this out the way. I'll go back and fix the code. Subscriptions are only $8.99. This is gonna make, because I can't give the way I want to give out of that. All right. $8.99. So there we go. We're going back to it. Give me 60% of $8.99, Grace. So what is that?
$5.39.
Yeah, I got your face in my way. So $5.39. And we did that at $8.50 or $8.99. All right, do it again. Do it again. Yeah, do $8.50. Well, I want 60% of $8.50. So we're doing that's perfect. So what I want to do is that's perfect. So right now, from I need you got to write this down in line app and chat and all this stuff. But every single subscription per frequency of said subscription. That means not just the first one, but all of them. You know, every level, every person. That's 10 cents I want to give towards ending world, adopting children. Okay, 10 cents. I want to do that way. Then we're going to take another 10 cents. Just let me finish. I got you. I'll work it out for you. And another 10 cents for domestic. It doesn't matter. We're just going to call it domestic because we don't know what it is. Maybe it's Florida that just got hit by another hurricane, and this one was bad. So domestic. I don't want to take care of India and Africa and then leave Floridians underwater without electricity. You know what I'm saying? So 10 cents for specifically for adoption of children, which is that's my plan for the World Hunger thing. It won't just be international, Compassion International, but it will be for the World Hunger. So that's 10 cents for that, 10 cents for domestic, and then 10 cents for student loans. There you go. There you go. That's 30 cents. Complete. That's a lot. That's a lot. Trust me, that's a lot. I'll make it make sense of me. Y'all hear a dime. Don't hear that. If you think about, first off, let's go with this. What was the total? $5.10. And I take 30 cents out of that. $4.80. So imagine that's taxes. I mean, I can't see our faces. That's taxes. That's taxes. You don't think so? Then look at your paychecks. look at your paychecks. That's taxes. So that's what I want to do. It's going to be set up that way. So let's say you screen one more time, Grace. This is what we're talking about doing. We'll be realistic. Let's say we start off extremely moderately. And Jerome, just 2,000 people do subscriptions, right? 2,000 people do the exclusive content. Okay. Well, you don't have to do math because we're just taking off this 10 cents. So you're just taking 10% of it. But show them on the calculator. What is that, Grace? Every month, what would be going towards out of 2,000 people?
200.
200 per. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. Right. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's 10% of company profits. Okay. If you don't think that's enough, I bet you won't do it. All right. There you go. You can stop. Stop right there. So write that down. That's going to be there. Because, so why, Antonio, why this here? You have to stay focused with the reason you're in business. And this is our competitive advantage. This is one of our hidden competitive advantages, that we will draw people to this social media. It's not just a social media. That's what I'll say right now. We'll draw people to social media who want to make a difference because they know that this company will be feeding homeless, student loans, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely, Jerome. What I want to do is I think I told somebody this the other day, but anyway, I want to be. So here's my plan with the tour, because I remember now. I was telling somebody this here. My plan with the tour is to be. Remember, that's why I was telling y'all. I was telling Jamal and Tracy. Remember, I was saying that I want to have like zip codes. Champions Network. As you look up, Joel will say, "All right, Champions Network." Jerome, what I want to do is I want to have a network as we go through different cities, a network of people that's some sort of qualifications. So there's leaders in these areas. When I go to Biloxi, Mississippi, so I have no idea why that came out, but there you go, Biloxi, Mississippi, which is actually a pretty good place to be in. But Biloxi, Mississippi, what I want to do two things there, Janice. Anybody that says, "Oh my God, can I join your organization?" Yes, you can. But I want to have people. I want to have Jerome and Law and all those people there. And there's some sort of network to where you aren't joining us, but they are your leaders and contacts, something like that. I got to work it out because I'm borrowing from a church model, but I got to work it out. Something like that to where the people in those cities benefit. Why? Because it doesn't make sense for me to go all over the world and benefit and take all the world seeds and plant them in an ATS garden. That makes no sense. What makes sense is to go all over the world and get all these excited people and then have them joining Jerome's speaker company, spending money with him and us versus me saying bypass the Jeromes of the area, you and ATS now. That makes no sense. Because while that works digitally and it's easier than today, you no matter how much you try to do business digitally, you still can't meet. You can't beat meeting in person. You just can't do it. Right? You just can't do it. And as long as there are old folk, and I'm saying this in a good way, whose parents taught you to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
That's it.
Then meeting in person is going to always be important. All right. That 1 year is different. Yeah. As long as they say, you're going to say yes, ma'am, and you're going to say no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. Then. As long as those people still exist, Jerome, the meeting in person is going to be more important than anything. Because I got to look you in the eye. So good, dude, good. So I want to do that. And we want to stay focused with, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my thought. And I want to travel all this. I want to pick, so we're in Biloxi. I want to go into the social media thingy, right? And then say, hey, who in this zip code has student loans? Bam. Just like that, right? Of course, it'll go through, the proper entity. Well, no, I don't want much red tape. You got to prove it actually got student loans, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I don't want it to go through. I don't want to just come out of my pocket and give it because that's not feasible. And then, then I don't want to give it to somebody got to pay taxes. Like you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, but you got to pay tax, title, and license. I don't want to do that. That's what happens on. Come on down to the prize is right. That's what happens. You win the showcase, but you got to pay taxes on it.
Yes.
Which is fair. I'm not saying it's not fair. I'm just saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to have people, I want it with less friction. I want it as human as possible. I want to humanize the giving is what I'm saying. Humanize the giving.
Antonio?
Yes,
to
sir.
give someone, those Tesla giveaways, someone made a video about it, and there was this girl who won a Tesla, but because she was a student and she couldn't afford to pay the taxes on it, she literally couldn't get the Tesla. To give someone $30,000 worth of any non-cash gift you have to spend 70,000. Like, if you don't want them to spend anything and get a $30,000 gift, you have to spend $70,000 as the gifter.
Yeah.
Now, the specifics of that, like how the taxes of that work, I'm pretty sure Sadia, who used to be on the calls very regularly, would be able to explain that better. But yeah, it really does. Like, you cannot even gift someone $30,000 worth of something unless you're willing to pay $70,000.
Yeah, which is a wonderful world we live in, right? That's like, yeah, okay. Hey, I'm gonna make humans. What are humans gonna do? Just mess stuff up. Just basically, you know, basically what that is for sure. You know, there's ways, and then I don't want to get caught in the red tape of paying someone's student loans off, and then now they're in a different tax bracket to where they're screwed over in the tax year or something. You got to. I'll have the legal, like you know, I have the legal, the law side, and the CPA side, the accountant side. You know, work all this out. But that is the plan, though. You know, and there's with us way. You know, so 10 cents. So every subscription, 10 cents will go to that. And then I will Republicanly find a way to make sure that that is part of, you know, a tax benefit for us too, so we can keep doing it. And keep doing it. I will have a good, you know, we gotta get some sort of tax benefit so we can keep doing it. I want to pay our fair share of taxes, but I also want to avoid some taxes because I want to give them to the people.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not worried about keeping the money. The government is good. They print it on demand, Phil. They print it. I want to I want to give that what would have been spent on taxes, unnecessary amount of taxes. I don't have a problem with taxes. I have a problem with unnecessary amount of taxes. I mean, you can't have a problem with taxes because if you went and used a public restroom, there's your taxes.
Mhm.
If you, you know, if you drove down the street, there's taxes. If there was a public trash can, that's taxes. You know, like forget taxes, but you know, Medicaid, that's taxes. You know, so yeah, you know, you got to be careful with, you know, complaining all the time because taxes are a good thing. If you walk outside at night and there are street lights to keep Janice safe, her car to, or it's from the parking lot or somewhere, and it's not owned by a company, that's taxes again, keeping this place bright so she don't get raped or something. All right, okay, go ahead, Phil.
It's not taxes that we're concerned about. It's how they spend the taxes once we give it to them.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, ain't that the truth? Here's $1 billion jet. It's gonna kill people. Well, we do need one. Yeah. Well, we need actually 8, General. 8 total? Yeah, just 8 total. Well, buy 18. That's what we do. That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do.
But to be fair, Antonio, without those jets, you know, the dollar could just become paper. So the only thing
true.
that really guarantees that the dollar stays the dollar is those jets. It's like, would you rather spend $8 billion on those jets and make sure all the hundreds of billions of dollars out there actually maintain their value? Or would you rather save those 8 billion and then scramble to actually have market competition to maintain your dollar's value?
You bring up a good Fox News Republican point. That's for sure. Yeah, and I agree with it. I agree with it. America is the #1 country in the world. That's air quotes. But we are, due to the fact that we got the biggest army in the world and the biggest navy in the world and the biggest air force in the world. So, no, we do. Yes. Now, are we really #1? No, we're not #1 in education. We're not #1 in it. No. But are we #1 in defense? Yeah. The next 12 countries combined don't have our budget. So yes, he was absolutely right. So remember that if you, I was thinking a lot about this last night because there was an element that I was suffering with last night. It didn't come out well. There was an element of Arlenbrook that I was suffering with, and it was so awesome, so simple, and then it was the monthly subscriptions. It was the exclusive content. It was exclusive content, and I was working with that last night. I was like, yes, Ibrahim's going to be able to, yes, and then likewise, so is Debbie Does Dallas. She's gonna be able to do the same thing. Yeah. But it's a subscription for exclusive content. It's what it says. I was thinking about that. I remember saying in my head, man, it's gonna be fun trying to navigate through all this stuff. Because it's gonna be fun.
But Antonio, won't you
Yeah.
have to play big? Won't you have to play Big Brother with the exclusive content? Because people put on the internet whatever the so and so they want to, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
They do. I don't know about playing Big Brother too much. I have a problem with that. So it's going to be. I'm going to end up in the newspapers a few times for controversial reasons. That's for sure. Because you can't do something good without something else happening. And it's not necessarily the opposite. Like, is nudity the opposite of violence? No. Is nudity the opposite of cartoons? No. Is nudity going to be a problem? Probably not. Is nudity going to be a problem when a pedophile wants to do it? Absolutely yes. And who's going to draw that line between soft core and hardcore and and all that stuff? It's gonna be one hell of a ride. That's for sure. It's gonna be one hell of a ride, and that's just the nudity part. We're not talking about what about backyard. No. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, that's a good one. I was thinking about this last night. You said backyard shenanigans. So now I'm gonna get in trouble for things like this here. You have a suburban community that started its own wrestling league.
Mm-hmm.
And their pay-per-view is going to be on Arlenbrook. And they're going to be so popular with it that it's going to give me great publicity. That's right. You want to challenge the Vince McMahons, if you want to challenge the powers that be, then you can come and you can have pay-per-view here. And it's going to be awesome because they're going to have all the TV stuff, online TV stuff. And then 3 kids going to die.
Oh.
And that same news that was like, yay, it is Arlenbrook's fault for enabling this. And there ought to be regulations. That's you cannot. Hopefully, I'm genuine. Once I stop talking about Compassion International, I've already been talking about February 1st. Because these are my February 1st problems immediately. It won't start that way. No, it won't because I'm going to say, okay, Phil, let's go bring people and go Ibrahim, and Phil and Ibrahim are not pro wrestlers on the side. So they're not going to have this problem. They're not going to have this problem. Like is going to attract like. But then once, stuff starts hitting the media, then you get all sorts of people. But I do have a problem. I have a problem with Big Brother because I like free speech. And that's nobody solved that problem. Nobody solved it. I'm not going to solve. Well, I probably will solve it, but I haven't solved it. Elon Musk hasn't solved it. Free speech is great. It is important. But how do I algorithmically keep free speech to people who just want to see that free speech when Antonio is always trying to get bigger and make sure his free speech goes outside the algorithm? Because if I'm doing free speech, if I'm talking, I don't want to just talk to people I agree with. I want to piss people off too. That's human nature. If I disagree with Trump, I definitely want a Trump supporter to know I disagree with Trump. I don't want to just talk to him. Like, no, I need y'all to receive this about human nature. We don't want, you're right, that's boring. We want somebody to push back, even though we say we don't, we do. I'm offended. We like being offended because without that pushback, there's no good dialogue. You can't even write a book with a bunch of people saying yes. You just can't do it, right? You can't do it. As long as Ibrahim is doing cartoons, then he wants to put it. So where is his new and emerging markets? Where there's not cartoons. How is he going to grow, get to millions and billions where there's not cartoons? So you're always going to have that problem of people using their free speech to go outside of the people buying from them. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that Ibrahim's book is awesome. And for a kid like me, Ibrahim, please forgive me. I turned it into a coloring book. So like I read each of the little quotes and then I color the little people. the one.
I like it.
No, take a picture of it too.
Okay.
Because that might work out for him.
Okay. The one with the little girl talking to her mom was funny. She said something about love, and her mom was like, "That's just the
kids like love is blind," and the mom's like, "Well, that's a romantic excuse to ignore red flags."
Exactly. I thought that was so funny. But I just wanted to say that. So, Ibrahim, if you start like leaning into coloring books,
but he may not have to.
Yeah.
Because the mere fact that he may not have to, because people are going to do it anyway. And that's going to be the advantage of it. Like, like you use your shower head for more than your shower head, don't you? You don't have to market it for the other reason. You don't have to market it for the other reason. You don't have to, you ain't the only way. You don't have to market it for the other reason. All you got to do is say 17 different speeds. That's all you got to do, right?
Yeah, Antonio. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. All he has to do is say 25% more animations. That's it. Because the moment he makes it a color, but I don't want it no more.
That is true.
Yeah, but if I get to be a rebel, I like it. If I get to be a rebel, I like it. Yeah.
Antonio,
Yes,
Diana, since you have the book, please do leave a review. As you know, social proof is everything. Do leave a review on Amazon. I already have one right now. I'm aiming for 100, and then ultimately I'm aiming for 1,000. I'm just putting it out there, and once I hit those milestones, I will come on this call and tell you guys. It's just the same way as with my Instagram that I'm aiming for 10,000 followers.
Oh, fair enough.
Just reaching 760 now.
Fair enough, Diana. You can do it while you can multitask while I'm talking. You do it. So we'll should write the review right now, for sure. And then when you finish, and show you, it's not going to show him. It's going to like approve it first, but you can at least.
Yeah, once it's there, I'll see it. Yeah, once it's there, I'll see it. Anyway, and also the picture that Antonio you've sent me, it's very good, very professional. Once I'm at the stage where I'm gonna announce the book on Instagram, by then it's already gonna have a decent bunch of reviews. Then I'm gonna announce it on my Instagram. That's when I'm gonna start posting those images. So your image definitely gonna be there. Diana, if you have a physical copy, please pose with it and send me a picture. I'm collecting the photos for now. So once that's there, I'm also gonna shout out your Instagrams as well. And by then it's gonna be a couple of thousand followers as well.
Right. So let's break down what we're talking about right now, because this is I'm very happy with this conversation. Social proof. I believe he even said that phrase. So pull up. Pull up Contagious. Put Jonah Berger Contagious and find me it's going to be a beautiful chart that has like trigger, social proof trigger. Find me that. You'll see it. It'll make Jonah Berger Jonah Berger Contagious. He's a Harvard professor that is specialized in marketing. He wrote a fantastic book about 10 years ago. And pull that up for me. And then you write the review. So social proof is every review is going to tell Ibrahim's audience, ooh, my money is safe over here. It's extremely important because people are already afraid to buy because they don't want to ruin their hard-earned money. So when he gets 100 reviews, actually just one review helps with one buyer because, pioneers and stuff. And as he gets more reviews, he crosses out that pioneer category. He crosses out that early adopter category and you're my husband category into I don't even know this guy and I bought this. You get it? All right, go ahead, pull it up for me. Yep. It's the only thing would have been that. I figured it, right? It's called steps. Social currency. What is social currency? Read, Grace, because you read so well.
Social currency. People care about how they look to others. They want to seem smart, cool, and in the know. So be sure to find the inner remarkability, blend, and make people feel like insiders. Please don't tell.
That was vital. We're coming back to that. Now read public for me.
Public. Built to show, built to grow. The more public something is, the more likely people will imitate it. Design products and initiatives that advertise themselves, red bottom shoes, and create some visible behavioral residue. Live strong bracelets.
Now read stories for me.
Stories. Information travels under what seems like idle chatter. Stories are vessels, so build a Trojan horse, a narrative or story that people want to tell, Jared from Subway, which carries you idea along for the ride.
What Ibrahim just did with the review and the pictures he's not waiting. He is waiting until there's enough pavement to tell that story. There's enough attention to keep it public. So when the book dies publicly, he does something to resurrect it. And then the reviews are all social currency because I want to look cool. And why would I buy something that's not cool? Right. And I want to be first to post one of his illustrations on my timeline because my audience doesn't know about it. I know I'm not first, period, but I'm first to the people who I care about. Because that's what all your timelines are your news channel. And we want to be first to our news channels. But we don't care if it's true, Jerome. Donald Trump is a lesbian. Let me post it. Because you haven't seen yet. You get like you haven't seen it. Yeah. I don't care if it's true. Donald Trump was a lesbian. I have no idea when that popped in my head. But I don't care if it's true. I just care that I'm the first to do it. This is why fake news and headlines. This is why you focus so much on your headlines. I just want to be first. I want to be first and tell you the COVID vaccine causes the flu or makes you sterile. That's not true. That does not stop the fact that COVID vaccine will make you sterile. COVID vaccine will end your life. Those articles were shared. They were absolutely shared because I wanted to be first to my audience. So share your screen again. As you said, saying, y'all take a screenshot of this. I got this memorized. And please know I use all of this, especially the triggers. Listen to what I said. I want you to keep this up, Grace. When everybody listen to how I start off the meeting. Everybody, because I know we're getting ready to take a break. And I'm going to have the whole world know that this social media, Listen to all these triggers. This social media does not share your information. One trigger. And it's going to trigger a certain type of people. This social media pays you 40%. That's another trigger. Okay. This social media, you don't have to buy ads. That's a small business I'm trying to come up trigger. Let me keep going. This social media is saving the world by ending hunger with every sale. This social media is ending the student loan debt crisis. Read triggers, Grace.
Triggers. Top of mind means tip of tongue. So consider the context, Rebecca Black, and grow your habitat so that people are frequently triggered to think about your product or idea.
Every single time Joe Biden say student, you know what? Arlenbrook though. Yep. Yep. Come on, I need y'all to hit. God dog it. I can't see our faces because triggers. You have to do this. And I have everything set up in that way. So you set these, you know what? Let's make the rest of this call about this thing. Because I've been doing this. Let's make the rest of the call about this. Because this is so difficult and so easy all at the same time. I read the book Contagious. John Albert, he wrote a follow-up a couple of years later. It's equally as good. Let's talk about Contagious. And because the idea was the science behind going viral is what it was. I'm going to bring you can stop your screen real quick, Grace, but get ready. We're going to share it. Do me a favor, Deanna, find the steps and copy and paste it into the chat. It's written somewhere now on the picture. You can just put Contagious book summary. And I can assure you someone has took steps is the biggest part of that book.
Antonio, I did a thesis on it, and I broke it into a 3-part model, and I connected it to dating. And what I made it into was you need 3 things. First, you gotta look good. You make whatever you have look good. And that's the whole social proof. It has to be all of that.
Right.
Second is you have to be discoverable. And then the third is you have to go out and give people the reason or the opportunity to discover you. And then I further consolidated it into 2 steps, which is be on top of Google, and 2, give people a reason to Google you. And that's where Vibin was making a mistake, where it wasn't on top of Google. So all the effort you would have put into being discoverable could have gone to someone who's already ranking on Google with the term Vibin. Now with Arlenbrook, you've got it right. So you are going to be on top of Google if people Google Arlenbrook. So the question then is, how are you going to reach people to the point where they start searching Arlenbrook? So what's going to be your vehicle for discovery? And 2, what are you going to do to make Arlenbrook look good?
Right, both of those.
Then they find you.
Vehicle of discovery and how to make Arlenbrook look good. Keep going, because he's saying stuff y'all need to be right down. Keep going, Ibrahim. Those 2 things, if you just remember what he just said, you ain't got nothing else to remember. Keep going, bro.
So when it comes to looking good, that is where you need social proof. You know, the modeling industry, the fashion industry, it has done this so many times. It makes looking homeless seem like looking fresh. It makes skinny people look good in one century, and then curvy people look good in another century, and fat people look good in another century by doing what? By creating social proof. Once every magazine is hiring anorexic models, anorexic people start looking good. Once every magazine is hiring curvy people start looking good. So the top-down approach to make anything look good is through social proof. Even if ugly art is being purchased for millions of dollars, you're like, it might look good, man. So maybe I don't get it. So
that's exactly what I say.
So social proof is one of the strongest forms of making social beings like humans or social beings like dogs like stuff. You know, if your dog doesn't eat his dog food, pretend to eat it. And then guess what happens? Suddenly he starts liking it. So that's just because I have a dog blog client. So this is on my mind. But yeah, any social being, any mammal that is social will love anything that it finds others loving. So social proof is a very strong way to make something look good. Aesthetics are another way to make something look good, the experience of it. And third thing that Antonio actually taught me is that if you make something a tool to make you look good, like if I look good using your product, your product will start looking really good to me. You know, every makeup kit, every makeup package looks good, but not just because it's a nice box, but because you know that once you use it, you're going to look good. So that's the same with Supreme shirts. You know, Supreme shirts objectively aren't that good looking, but once you wear it, you look good in a social sense. And that's why you like those. That's why you like chunky sneakers and whatever fashion related. So that's another way to make something look good, but it all falls under the same thing. That thing looks good. So you have to go out. There has to be a vehicle of discovery. You have to reach people. Like, for example, with my book, you're hearing about it because the mode of discovery is this Antonio call. It's a very limited mode of discovery right now because not a lot of people are on the call. And by that, I mean millions of people have to hear it. Zoom literally doesn't allow millions of people. So if this was my marketing channel, it would have been a bad marketing channel. My marketing channel is Instagram, reaching a larger number of people over there. So you have to pick your mode of discovery to match what you want. With Antonio's thing is he's changing mindsets. So when you're changing mindsets, you need 5 to 6 people to have a change of mind or a change of heart, and then that changes the world. So to change 5 or 6 people's minds, this is the perfect mode of discovery for this. So you have to pick a mode of discovery that matches your goals. So I don't know what Arling Brooks' mode of discovery is. Antonio will enlighten us on that. Then the next thing is you have to give people a reason to Google you. Now, everything like changing, solving world hunger, giving people a 40% cut, all of those things are different from what exists. So anything that's different from the status quo piques people's curiosity, and that gives them a reason to search. You know, you don't go around going like, hey, I have a mixtape. Hey, I rap. Because people are like, so does everyone else. You have to come out with something that's different. You know, the baby used to literally wear a diaper and walk around in public. And he was like, I'm the baby, you know? And that gave people a reason to look up who this guy is. You know, so standing out, being different gives people a reason to look you up. When they look you up, they better see some news coverage. They better see some 5-star reviews, because otherwise they're going to look you up and going to be like, oh, okay, cool. But they're not going to buy in. So once again, I'm going to come to the 3 steps, then come to the 2 steps, and then bring it back to Antonio. So the 3 steps are, you gotta look good. Start by making your house, putting your house in order. You have to make your stuff, your product, your service look really good. 2, you have to then make sure that when people try to look for it, they can find it. So you have to make it discoverable. And 3, you have to go out and give people a reason to discover you. Now, turning those into 2 steps would be A, put yourself on top of Google for a keyword, like with tree and press. You look up tree and press, you're going to find tree and press. And B, so A, be on top of Google. B, make sure people can have a reason to Google you. how many people are Googling Trient Press? How many podcasts are you on? How many calls are you on? How many radio shows are you on? How many ads are you taking out? All of that is there. So go out, give people a reason to look you up. And then when they look you up, they better find some good social proof. They better find a high quality, well-maintained website, some social media with a lot of content they can consume. So them looking you up doesn't lead to them closing a tab on you. That should lead to them following you. Thank you.
Yeah, I clap for that. Quite
It's
brilliant.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yep. No reason for me to say anything. I got 4 things that he wants me to clarify because he said it in there. So I'll tell you my mode of discovery. You took that down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your blueprint. And I know Adonia likes that kind of behavior. She always looking for, she always looking for somebody to write her business plan. So she's wise. She's wise. She's always looking. Adonia
I
is
was
always
sure trying to keep up, man. I was like, hey, he was going. Like, wow, I felt like bam, bam, bam. Okay. Thank you, Grace. I love my note taker. Love you, Grace.
I know that's right. Yeah, y'all love Grace. You missed something. It's in the chat. Thank you, Grace. You are. I'm surprised she ain't getting random tips every night. Girl, here you go. Here you go. I love you get that $20 shook in your hand. Yeah. So I got 4 things, and I'm gonna hopefully I don't forget them, but we may. Well, let's start with social proof real quick. I want you to remember the reason I said let me stop and make the rest of this all about social proof. No, I don't have anything to say necessarily about social proof. Well, I do. Everything Ibrahim said, it's what you need to know about social proof is what I got to say. All right? So that's what I got to say about. So that's why I said let me start there, because he's absolutely correct. And there's nothing really to understand. Like, don't try to be a scholar about this. If Ibrahim and myself had to deduce what social proof is do I look good when I use this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the flip side to that would be I refuse to even touch it if I'm not gonna look good.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking social proof is just let me get 100 ratings. That's not the social proof. The 100 ratings is not the social proof. The 100 ratings is when they tie their 100 ratings into Ibrahim's name or whatever his product is, and they say, oh yeah, I'm not a dummy if I get this one.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not saying anything different to him. I'm saying the same thing he's saying. You're saying 5-star, 100 5-star reviews is social proof. And I'm saying yes, but that's not enough. I'm saying psychologically, you're going, oh, I can't go bad with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what matters. That's the social currency. That 100 people ain't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
100 people didn't come back and say something for no reason. So I look good getting this one. I want you to think about this, because the book like it got 1 review.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm gonna look good in that one. Y'all get it? So it's just all right. So that's the only thing I want to say to that. Mode of discovery is trifurcated in this case. These are the first ones, and they make sense. Because I've already said one of them. The first thing I'm going to do,
Antonio, I just summarized the whole framework because I've been using it. I just summarized it into a single message. I sent it there. And also the third part, and even in the first part, making people look good, I've stolen that from you. And then the third part of it, also the pre-existing congregation part, also stolen from you. So this is just an amalgamation of your stuff, my marketing experience, and then Jonah Berger's stuff. So this is the last message that I've sent. So
look at it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Look at that. That's it. There's your blueprint right there, y'all. Grace, write that down. Even we can use that. That is, and it's those of you like Uncle Jerome. Oh, you already put it in there. Well, you did that yesterday or just now?
Just now.
Okay, good. So those of you like Uncle Jerome and Adonia, you reteach that. That's yours now. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, and remember the subset of looking good is looking smart, looking happy. Those are ways to look good. When you're smart, you look good. When you're happy, you look good. So remember, when you're wanting to look good, keep those things in mind. And that
Absolutely.
Adonia's got that looking good down.
Oh yeah. She still ain't wore the same outfit twice, y'all. Still ain't. We still ain't seen it. Well, don't tell us you did. Don't tell us you did. You fibbing. I don't want to call you a liar, but you fibbing. You are fibbing. You have not worn the same thing twice. Fibbing self. Mode of discovery. Oh, go ahead, Phil. No, you good.
I put Susan's closet up against Adonia's any day.
Nah, you are right about that. I think even the dog you will relate to that one for sure.
Let's be clear. Susan would beat me. Let's be clear. She got me. She got me.
Yeah, for real. My mode of discovery first is I want to go to the biggest comedy creators on YouTube. That's my first mode of discovery. It's the celebrity. It's like I got an NFT. Let me go to Snoop Dogg and Eminem. It's the same concept, but a different celebrity. I'm not worried about Snoop Dogg and Eminem because Snoop Dogg and Eminem want Big John's YouTube follow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a social media.
Right.
You get it? It's a social media. And as a social media, I want to go to the people running social media. So I want to go to my first mode of discovery is all the top ranked YouTubers. It's not just comedians. It's not just comedians, but I say comedians a lot because that's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
My kids go to YouTube real quick. Put 3 S's in wolf. Just do share your screen while you do it. Let me just stop everything. I'm gonna show you. Just share your screen and do that. Put 3 S's and wolf right behind it. I'm gonna show you. This is the way right there. All right.
This is Sniper Wolf.
That's the only. There's only one. I know you don't, but look how many subscribers. Exactly. My kids, Ashton, and my middle and my youngest, watch this like TV, Ibrahim. TV. No, just hit a video. Hit a video and share.
Oh, okay.
Hit a video and share. This is all this. Just all she do. And she's a very attractive girl. Little skinny white girl. That's the perfect thing for this century, as Ibrahim said. Now we can't hear you. You got to share with your sound. That's the perfect thing, right? You know what I'm saying? This is what's on Victoria's Secret right now. All right. To back up what Ibrahim was saying. No, this is fantastic. Like I really want y'all to get this. I really want y'all to get this here. So you can guarantee I'm coming to Sniper Wolf.
Hey
You
guys,
crazy
it's
as hell.
6 in the morning.
What?
Season 5 came out, so I kind of just stayed up all night playing. But anyways, I have a hilarious video for you today. Season 5 just started. This gameplay was from Season 4 about a week ago. So this is part 2 of the other video I just uploaded. This was really fun. I want to upload a lot more Fortnite videos, so look forward to those. Oh, and in Season 5, there's so many new skins I like. So if you guys want to cosplay any of these,
Zombie
comment
watching
below
it all
and
the
hit
time.
that like button and that. But yeah, enjoy. Squad. I'm gonna try squads, even though I hate squads.
I know.
But I'm gonna do it because I want to run into people and I want to talk.
That's it. Look, my kid watched this too. Look, this is it.
So,
And there's another one. Look, okay, stop right there.
let's go.
Stop right here,
Guys,
Deanna.
guys,
Go into the search. No. Go into the search. You're gonna type in popular MMO. Watch it. Don't worry about it. I got this. My kid, I told y'all years ago, I don't run the world no more. My kids do. Man, watch this here, babe. Popular MMO. Now watch this here. Hold on. I'm looking for that one, right? Yeah. Yep, these are the people. 17 million people.
Yeah.
All they do is Minecraft videos. What? It's 2 of them. Go ahead, come on. And then the girl goes, oh my God. Watch. Just go anywhere in the middle. Just hit anywhere in the middle.
It's really fun. All right, Jen, this time I'm not messing around. Last time I let you win.
Oh, you were messing around last
Yeah,
time?
I was letting you win. And this time, it's not going to happen. I'm going to own you.
They watch this like
and I
TV,
hope
son.
that I last more than like 5 seconds.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I know there's no way Don's not watching
Yeah,
this.
new area or no?
He does.
Yeah.
But he says that while he's playing.
All right.
Like, I'm
All right,
not
so
gonna
this
let
time,
you
Stop real quick.
Where are
Die.
you? I see you.
Stop real quick. Get on the microphone and tell them what your 7-year-old does all day.
He goes on YouTube and he watches videos like these. And I have a smart TV, so he goes on YouTube on the smart TV and he knows there's certain things he can and cannot watch. This is one of he watches the Minecraft videos. There's this other guy, this black guy that he watches.
I bet I know.
I'm sure you do. He sits there and plays games, and then what these people are doing, like they're just sitting there.
Is it
talking.
IShowSpeed?
I think so.
ISO. What is it?
I know.
ISO.
IShowSpeed.
IShowSpeed.
Share your screen. Yeah. I'm trying to get y'all to see something.
No,
Mobile
he-
Discovery, I'm on it.
No, he doesn't watch iShows. Oh yes, he does watch this guy, and it's another guy too. But he watches this guy and another guy.
I do this. Mute your mic real quick. I do this. Hey, Motor Discovery for social media, paying credits 40%. Hey, Sniper Wolf, you got 33 million people. How much you want to get paid off of those 33 million people? Because I'm offering 40%. YouTube is offering you a 40,000th of a percent.
Okay.
So
Game set match.
So now she says, she's now using YouTube. She's now using YouTube to do exclusive videos on Arlenbrook. Now, Arlenbrook becomes a competitor for YouTube.
Wow.
If I wish I had my laptop so I could share the screen with y'all. I literally got pre-lunch, the ultimate lunch of ATS, and that says, how do we use the main platforms to like Twitter did or like Instagram? And it's in the book. Sorry, I'm streaming for God's sake. It's in there. It's in there. So when I tell you, and I'm going to these YouTubers first.
Also, Antonio,
Mhm.
and you can leverage fear of missing out. So, for example, if you've got iShowSpeed and Sniper Wolf is not on board, you can create Sniper Wolf as a topic on your social media and then send her the message about how like 50,000 people are subscribed to this topic. And for now, because there's no gaming content directly from Sniper Wolf, they are being fed iShowSpeed's content. So would you rather sign up and actually reach these people, or would you rather let iShowSpeed take this market? And that's how you get 10 creators on board, and suddenly it goes to 100 and then to 1,000, because they all want to have their audience.
That's right.
Have their content on the platform instead of someone else's.
That's right. That's right. If y'all don't know, first off, I didn't think about what Ibrahim said. That was a fantastic idea. Just in case somebody wants to not move over it. I got you. Here's a good topic. That's a fantastic idea. Secondly, if you're not sure, if you need help, let me help you. YouTube runs the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you've been taught or told. Doesn't matter what, it's like the first person to say this was Bill Maher, what I'm about to say. And this is years ago, like back in 2010, he kept saying, y'all are in a Fox News bubble. And he was the first person I heard say it. You could tell they're in a bubble. They're in a bubble, Fox News bubble. That's very true today. That is way true today, except for now, there's more than just a Fox News bubble.
Yeah.
In 2010, it was prominently a Fox News bubble. Fox News went from fair and balanced to what it is today, right around, 2010. Excuse me, when the black man became president, if you want to know when. Just so we make this clear. All right. Okay. But for fair and balanced to, let's do this the other way. But now you got bubbles everywhere. You've got your CNN bubble, people who just get their information from just here and just here and just here and just here. And I'm telling you, without a doubt, you may be stuck in those bubbles. But the other generations, Gen Z, millennials, and X ain't in the bubbles. They're on YouTube, especially millennials and Gen Z. There's nobody that has more viewer attention than YouTube. Nobody at all. YouTube runs the world, and YouTubers are so famous, you don't need to be famous no more.
Sure.
You need to be YouTube famous, because that is fame. And if you don't think that, then there's no, who knows who Jennifer Garner is? That's the actress, A-list celebrity. She played one of the Daredevil things, Jennifer Garner, she did the movies.
What's in your wallet?
Okay, what's in your wallet? Yep, she's right. Now check this out. She does funny videos on TikTok.
Really?
She's got a blog on YouTube. I dare you pull it up for me. I dare you pull up how Will Smith is a blogger now.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Garner is a blogger now. Your A-list celebrities are YouTubers now. They're TikTokers. Share your screen. I pay attention to this stuff.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
for the last 5 years, I've noticed that movies and TV shows aren't actually modes of getting paid. They're not the job that the actors want. They've become the mode of discovery.
Right.
To fill their personal brands like following. So now actors want to be in movies not because the movies are paying. They want to be in movies so people look them up and then follow them on social media, which is where they actually make their money.
Exactly. And Arlen Brook is going to pay out more than anybody.
Wow.
Just think about this for a moment. He's absolutely right. Think about this. So yeah, mode of discovery is good. Go ahead, Phil, and then you share your screen, right?
Oh, and they're actually paying Gen Xers or Gen Zs or millennials to put them on those platforms. Yep. They're not doing them.
That's a good point. That's a whole good point. Yeah, YouTubers get paid more than A-list celebrities. It's insane. It's insane. Share your screen, Deanna. Why she got 43 episodes?
Of her faking the cook.
Look at this. Go ahead. She's a YouTuber, son. And that's not particularly her channel, but she does this. You know what I'm saying? You can stop it. I'm just trying. Look. There's no camera crew. That's a tripod and vertical.
Yeah, it ain't even.
Antonio.
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, she was married to Ben Affleck, and her and Jennifer Lopez are having a little something. Yeah. And so venting over there she's venting over there on YouTube and everything.
Let's see. There you go. So all right. So now the new gossip place is YouTube now, right? No. Do me a favor. Pull it back up again, Deanna. But this time, put up Jennifer Garner King Batch. Y'all, I pay attention to this stuff because, well, for one, I pay attention for it, Ibrahim, because of intentionality. But I got a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old. I ain't got no choice, Phil. I have to pay attention to this stuff because they walk by me blaring it. It must be. It's on TikTok then. So put Ann King Batch. It must be on TikTok or something. Let me see. No, go to YouTube. Go to Instagram and pull it up. Go to Instagram and then go to Jennifer Garner page. Go to her page. Yeah, go to her page. I'm trying to get y'all to understand that you're missing, you're stuck in your bubble. Look, she got 13.8 million followers. Right there. It's right there. It's the third video. King Bash got 22 million.
Happy first day.
Happy first day.
Stop it right there. Now, in fairness, they're doing a movie together. But King Batch is a YouTuber. He is a Vine star.
He's in a movie because he's a
plenty. That's right.
Rush Hour 4?
That's right. And if you go to, King Bash is in Rush Hour 4?
I think that was him.
That's Chris Tucker for sure. But anyway.
Also, Antonio, right now, the trade that is happening between Hollywood and YouTube famous people is, as you said, in looking good, I penned the word cosign. So the YouTubers are getting the cosign of the established Hollywood elite, right? You get Will Smith on your video, it's like Will Smith is in your video. So he makes you look good. He's not taking you to 1 million people because he doesn't have an audience. I'm talking about early Will Smith, right?
Right.
So the celebrity now doesn't have the audience, but because he appeared on your show, he makes you look good.
Right.
You have the audience. So there's this trade where your trading power, again, to get your term, Antonio, trading power is discoverability because you've got the audience, and then their trading power is the cosign because they can make you look good by just appearing on your show. So there's this trade happening. It's very interesting to see.
It is. It sure is. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, and this isn't anything new. We're just using different terms. Instead of saying discovery, we're saying attention. Instead of saying interest, we're saying looking good. So it's the same formula. It's just different words for the same concept.
Absolutely. That's the what is that, Phil? It's the for
attention, desire, close, and interest, desire, close, and post sell.
In the sales model since oil
so it's
was
discovery,
stuck in the
looking
ground.
good, getting the commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Delivering
He's right.
The goods and then following up.
Yep, he's absolutely right. It's the same. The sales don't change. The vehicle does, and it makes it look like it changes. But the sales model doesn't change. The psychology of sales does not change. It's not going to change at all. It's not going to change. So please know, me choosing to go to YouTubers is me saying, if this is to that, then that is to this. If I was starting Red Table Talk, then I would go to Denzel and tell Denzel to come to my red table. But I'm starting a social media. So I'm telling the social media celebrities to come to my table. I'm not going to Eminem saying, rap about my NFT. Rush Hour, Young Fly, DC, Young Fly. Okay, DC Young Fly may be in there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If this is to that, then that is to this. It's simple. The second mode of discovery is Ibrahim. Yeah. It just what's happening. He just wrote 39 articles in one way, and then the next 39, whatever it's going to be, because it may be 49. It's the second list. Or I may even have him repeat that first list. It's going to be all about Oliver. Some of this stuff makes sense.
Also, Antonio, those articles,
yes,
those articles primarily make you look good. So you can have the same trade that the celebrities are having. You can appear on those YouTube shows, actually promoting Arling, not just talking to YouTubers. You can appear on those shows because you give the cosign, because you have all these articles about you. You look good, so you can make them look good. And then they give you their audience, their reach in return. So the same trade happens, but you're not an A-list actor. You are still a media covered, quote unquote, celebrity who can give a cosign to someone. You can make someone look smart. You can make someone look good by appearing on their show.
That's right. Yeah, I get it. So he's going to do that. And then he's going to write about Oliver. But you got to remember, that's why I told y'all I would only use him because he's here. He can express what I'm doing with his gift and my accuracy. So I'm not using me. I'm not going to talk about me the way he will, because I'm going to be too humble. He's going to take liberties I can't take. But then he knows what liberties to take, and then he knows what I'm trying to do, and I ain't even worried yet in my head. I'm trying to figure it out. He got it. You know what I'm saying? So now, and he knows SEO. So when he writes articles about Arlenbrook, which is getting ready to come, I'm getting ready to do like 39 of them. You can believe that. He's going to know not only what to say, not only what to do, but he's going to SEO it in a way. He's going to use Arlenbrook a certain, and then he's going to pick which. He's going to listen to what I'm doing and see, and he's going to pick which keyword. I like what Antonio doing. He's going to say, okay. So that kind of leads me to my third one. Grace, Google. I've been trying to come up with a phrase that I want to SEO. I've been trying to come up with a phrase. I've been trying, but I've been trying to do it because I understand the streets. Now let me pause. Well, you got to remember the streets set trends. Everybody is trying to have street credit. I don't care how much you don't like the streets. You want street credit. It just is what it is. And trends come from the streets. It's like saying, as long as the high school football team is doing it, the school is doing it. The school is doing it. That's outside of just Texas, right? The school is doing it. So I want you to Google paid over popular. This is what I've been playing with right now. So my first mode of discovery is YouTube celebrities. My second mode of discovery is Ibrahim writing articles that rank. So when you Google blah, blah, blah. See, paid over popular. So I got to change it. I haven't Googled. Every time I come with one, after you listen to Ibrahim, I keep changing it. But it's going to be something like that. You get what I'm saying? As soon as I figure it out, that's going to be the unofficial or official tagline of Arlenbrook. Why? Because I wanted to sound cool? No. Is it going to sound cool? Yes. It's because I want it trending alongside the social media, but I want to do, now this is my psychological operations coming out. I'm attempting to program you with my message. My message.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
Grace, write this down. If you don't want to get tooked, you need to check out Arlenbrook.
Well, there you go. I ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it. Write it down, Grace. You write it down. We're gonna make it work. You understand? So the idea is I have to tell 8 billion people. By the end of the year, it's gonna be 8 billion people. The last article I read. I gotta tell 8 billion people what they're supposed to be thinking. That's how this works. We call it marketing, all right? But that's what you're doing. You call it marketing, but that's exactly what you're doing. I got to tell 8 billion people, hey, think this. So I need this 2 to 4. It can't be more than that. It's got to be 2 to 4 words. I've been kind of playing with 3 but my thought process is, what did I tell you to do? Did I tell you to do paid over popular? Or did I say, okay, because I had paid and popular first, and I went paid over popular. That's okay. I'll figure it out, and I don't mind doing the work. I don't have the answer right now, but I know once I figure it out, I do 2 things. Not only do I program you, you know what I'm saying? Because something that's in this street way of saying it, that you then leak to the streets. Here's the deal. If I can make the message of Arlenbrook no longer apply to Arlenbrook, I won. I'll give you a great example. There was no such thing as an influencer until Instagram made an influencer. Now, when we say influencer, it could mean TikTok, It doesn't. It could be shoe club influencer, but it makes Instagram relevant because we all know that Instagram made influencers. So if I tell you Google it, that doesn't mean necessarily go to Google. It means there is no other option but Google. So what I need to do is I need to find a way. And I'm close. I know I'm close. I need to find a way to say something. We'll just use paid over. It's too many syllables really in that. That's why I haven't really. It's too many syllables. But I need to have something like what's the busy and booked. So that's the thing. Okay, look, Phil's showing the book right now. The power to change anything. Influencer, the power to change anything. Now it's books. Now it's a book. Instagram then created. I bet that book didn't exist before Instagram did, because influencer wasn't a thing. Influencer wasn't a thing. It was no such
2008, but it was written by the gentleman that wrote Crucial Conversation.
Ooh. I remember that book. Yeah,
that's a Crucial Conversation. Start with the heart.
Yep, absolutely. I remember reading that book trying to grow a church. Because what is evangelism? It's marketing. It's a street team.
That is exactly what
it is. Yeah, evangelism is a street team. Hey, take these CDs and go out there and tell people I'm famous.
Jesus had the first street team.
Jesus had the first street team. Yeah. I get. Like think about it. So if I can come up with a phrase that's like that people say with an attitude, Ibrahim, whatever, I'm booked and busy. But it came from Arlenbrook. It's over. It's just icing on top of the cake. But I'm thinking about it, but I haven't got there yet. I haven't put that much thought into it. I put a lot, but not that much thought. It's not the only thing I'm thinking about. That's why I haven't. If I just sit down for 24 hours, it won't take me long because I'm charismatic and I have a way with words. It won't take me long at all. I just do it, just sit down and do it. But I haven't sat it down. But you get it? So first mode of discovery is celebrities off of YouTube. Second mode of discovery is Ibrahim with all those articles. Not just the ones about me, but then about Arlenbrook. The third one is to make Arlenbrook as a sassy way of shining on people. Yeah, you should just write that down. That's what I'm going for. A sassy way of shining on people. Why? Because we like to look good. And we like to do that. The fourth mode these aren't ranked. They're just fourth the way I'm giving it to you, but they're not ranked. They're all number one to me. Podcast. Absolutely podcast. 100% podcast. For two reasons. Number one, if you're on podcast, you're already on your phone or your mobile device. Where do we consume social media? On a mobile device. I'm already winning. You get it? I'm already winning. Inside of that, my podcast is so big, right? We get 15 requests for people a day. And all I have to do is do what when Deanna knows, I just say, all right, fine, I'll interview you if you interview me. This is exactly what I do, Ibra. I swear to God I do this. Because I hate interviewing people because I'm an introvert. It just drains the hell out of me. Once I finish the interview, I don't want to work at all that day because I engage this person, everything I got, and I'm drained. So I let Deanna do it. So now it's tit for tat plus the article from Ibrahim. I'm going to open up other interviews. But I can charge $3,000 with the audience that I get because I know people with a lesser audience than me that charge $3,000 just to get on their show. Yeah, just to get on their show. And I know people who pay for it just to get on their show. So I want to use podcasting as a mode of discovery because it lasts forever. It lasts forever. It's a Tony Robbins infomercial in the 90s, Phil. It is. That's what he did. In the 90s, he was like, give me your trash. I'll fix it. I'll fix it right now. He did it for 15 minutes or however it was. And that's what podcasting is. Since I'm already a big podcaster, I can leverage my audience by getting on other people's shows without trying to be famous and get on other people's shows. I could just leverage the distribution I already have. So these, I got one or two more, but I'm not going to mention them right now because I haven't really ironed it out. But the ones I've mentioned, they are already in play. I'm ready to roll right now. This is not something making off the top of my head. This is the only thing I think about. The tour, because I want to go in different places. But I already said that. You know what I'm saying? The tour. That would be that's the last one. Yeah, the tour, because I want to, because what I want to sell from the stage, my social media. I want to sell a free social media from the stage. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm being a little selfish here.
Mm-hmm.
But for what you know me, I ask some pretty good questions, don't I?
Yes, you do. Very good ones.
Maybe that's something I should do, is make sure that I do that more often. Because I learned early on that I learned to ask good questions.
Yeah.
It'll take you very far. They know me like you do. I ask pretty good questions. But even yesterday when I was on Melissa, what do you think of the questions I asked her?
Those were great questions. Yeah. Very good questions. That was a great call too.
Second, yeah, it was a great call. Those of you who missed it, you did. Second thing is, know me like you do. Would you pay a fee to see my library?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course I would. Just to get a picture of all the titles. Yeah. Well, you ain't gotta let me touch them. Just let me see the spines of the books. Yeah.
Just thinking here, just thinking.
Yeah.
Any more in a storage unit?
Yeah, and then books, they're about the same weight as a house. When you put them in the box, they weigh the same as a garage or a garage, depending on where you are. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would pay just to take a picture of the spines of those books, for sure. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
And I shared this before, but just for other people's benefits. When I was in the bank stock business, I was in my 20s, and I looked like I was, in my teens. And I was at a bankers convention, and I asked a question to the speaker. And afterwards, all these old bank presidents came up to me and said, "Boy, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. I'm glad I did." And I said, "Note to self: learn to ask good questions. It's the greatest marketing tool you can have in your bag, is to learn to ask good questions in front of a group, because it lets them understand that you know what's going on because you're sharp enough to ask a good question." So that's a skill everybody on this call should learn to develop, is learn to ask good questions.
It sure is. And it makes you look extremely intelligent when you can ask good questions too.
Yeah, and
extremely
also
intelligent.
from that, he started getting recognized, getting speaking engagements, and the banking industry was one of our largest clienteles. They really were. And when I asked Phil questions, when I ask him to do something, his question to me is why. So that's the questions I get from him, is why.
That is always
why.
Yes, that's how it makes sense. It makes good sense. I mean, as we're learning, like, how do we learn the world? We keep asking good questions to our parents. And then we forget that because somebody around 8-year-old tells us to shut the hell up and stop asking questions. And then we stop asking questions. We stop asking questions by then. So let's wrap this up. We changed today into social proof, social currency for your, the business you're building by February 1st. And I didn't mean to bring up the steps by Jonah Berger, but when it came about in dialogue, I knew then that this would be valuable if we just stayed right there. Because that book really changed my thinking about almost everything that I do. From if I wanted to be a rapper today, I would do one or two things. I would sell all my albums for $100, or I would give all my albums away for free. If I sell my albums, that's what I would do. Like that's how I would stand out. I would sell my album for $100, and there you go. I wouldn't, bam, that's already winning because who the hell wants to do this for $100? Let me buy it and see, right? That's going on. And then free, I would give all my music away for free and sell merchandise. Chance the Rapper. I wouldn't do what everybody is doing. I would pick that level of social currency, social proof. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead, Prophet Jay. I'm playing on the ground. I'm about to get out here. You can put it back up now.
Okay, Bishop, just want to make it quick.
You don't have to make it quick.
Today, I think it was today or yesterday, launches out Dolores' magazine for the first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on the cover. And I was going to put in the chat.
You should.
Where you can buy the magazine, and it is $12, and we are on the cover. So support us and support Divine Magazines.
Absolutely, you should. Please put it in the chat and do it every day for a month. You're good to go. Do it until the next one come out. Yeah, we love Dolores. Go ahead, Phil.
And let me just blatantly promote. Sorry, I'm streaming Monday.
Please.
5:30 your time, 6:30 our time. We'll be covering learn about the market. Last Monday we did investigate ownership, and that's recorded. So those of you that missed it, you can catch up. And then we're going to be doing Monday learn about the market.
That was fun too. That was fun. Not only because it's my book, because there was certain gratification there, but this is the right time to start some sort of streaming business. So this is the right time. Mm-hmm. It is. And the truth is, if you got a podcast, that's a streaming business. If it is, like, if you have a podcast, you are streaming. You are getting your piece of the streaming pie. If you are a YouTuber, that lady with that 20-year-old girl with 33 million followers can sell her show to Netflix if she wanted to. It's insane when you think about the power of owning distribution. When you think about that, the power of owning distribution is incredible. Does she own her 33 million? YouTube does. Does she control her 33 million? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Absolutely. I have listened to more episodes every morning. Like my 10-year-old goes to sleep on her. Like for years, just goes to sleep on her, and I have to get up and cut it down. I have to get up and cut it down in the morning. When I go empty my bladder, I get up and go cut it down. It's incredible, and she's fantastic. So she's fantastic. I mean, she's got a huge house too now, because why not? Things like that. So it's just fantastic, y'all. If you can figure out how to do that and tap into this social currency, then you won. Why? Because ask Ibrahim, don't nothing else exist but social proof. Nothing else exists. You can make it. And here's the deal. When Phil was selling bank shares to
Antonio,
banks, yes, sir.
The most globally accepted social proof is regarding currency. It's like you and I value the dollar the same. Well, close enough to the same. Your attitude about it might be different, but we both believe that it can buy the same thing. Yep. And that makes the dollar not a piece of paper. And then the next thing is the stock or a crypto. That's where we can believe, like, that's the second most believed thing, is the most valued stock at any given point. And the most consistent social proof is regarding the dollar or the euro. That's the currency. So quite literally, the things that you eat, the things that you work for, you spend your time they're valued because there is social proof regarding those things.
That's right. That's the value only comes from the social proof, as he said, because it's only worth what I'm going to buy for it, what the market's going to buy for it. He put a thought in my head when he said it. This is not something you know unless you travel a lot. This is not something you know. Passports is a flex. Where your passport is from is a flex because they got different colors.
Antonio, definitely. There's a whole index regarding this.
Yes, because certain passports give you access to just about the whole world. Yeah, so if I see a blue or red,
and US passport is one of those.
US passport is one of them. Yeah. Every passport can go to every country. It's a whole flex. It is. You got to travel a lot to know this. Ibrahim and I, we travel a lot. You got to travel a lot internationally to know this. When you pull that passport out, that's why they come in different colors.
Okay.
And you just start recognizing these colors. I promise you, he just said it's a whole index about it. That's social proof because this blue passport you can get anywhere. And I didn't know it until I started pulling it out. You get what I'm saying? And when I start pulling it out, then because you can't tell if I'm American, I look quite African or Dominican, especially when I'm speaking Spanish and I'm very, very Haitian. Pull that out, it's like, ooh, okay. And then we have a conversation. It is the truth. It is an absolute truth. But you being in Abu Dhabi is a flex in itself. That's anyway. Let me just go ahead, Phil.
Now, you were about to say when Phil was selling bank stock before, Adrian interrupted you. So
yes,
so I thought I'd let you finish that thought.
Yeah, that social proof, that idea of I'm cool, this is cool, you have to do this or you're gonna die if you don't do it. It's been the same since Phil was selling bank stocks to bank CEOs. Than Deanna selling podcast subscriptions. It is the same energy. It doesn't change because the only reason I'm going to buy from Phil and his bank stocks and his bank thingy is because somebody else did it. And somebody else did it. If he didn't convince anybody to do it, he's an idiot in here. Get this idiot out of here. But as soon as somebody buys from him, well, let me hear your pitch. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yes,
guess what the first document I would show the potential buyers of the bank stock? Just guess what it'd be.
Who else in the city bought it?
Yeah, their shareholders list. And I had two copies. One I could give to the husband, and one I could give to the wife so they could look at it on their own. So that's the first thing I showed them when I sit down at the table. Well, no, orders filled out with checks, and then I'd push that over to the side, and then I'd say, here's the current shareholders list. And I'd give one to the husband and one to the wife so they could see who already bought bank stock. That's the first document they saw that they got to look at.
That's been the whole call. That's social proof. Phil says, I was showing two forms of the greatest social proof to this particular market. And that's a great way to end the call. Phil's right. We just saying we kind of like redefining these things: attention, interest, desire. I can always forget the other one because I didn't learn it that way. I learned it a different way, only to find out, oh, this has been out. This has been out. We're saying none of this stuff changes. It's just the more the world gets connected, the more you need social proof. Because now Ibrahim has an option. See, Ibrahim didn't have options before the internet. Susan didn't have options before the internet. Susan had three places. It was the library. Well, if you wanted to learn something, it was Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, Encyclopedia Britannica. It was Rosetta Stone CD, or I don't know, school. Yeah, that was it. A degree. Now, Susan ain't using either one of those options because the internet lets me skip over all of that And when you are living a life of screw you, I'll skip you, you better have social currency. Go ahead, Phil, then Grace.
Yeah, Abraham, what was it's, we take the attention and then discover and then interest. What was the word you used for interest? What was the second thing that he talked about? Then we replaced interest.
Look at the notes.
I don't know this model, so I don't know how that
But what did you say? What's after discover?
You've got to.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's you got to look good, you got to be discoverable, and then you got to give people a reason to discover you.
Yeah, interest. That's interest. Looking good.
Looking
Instead of
good.
saying interest, you're saying looking good.
Yep.
That was the second thing I was trying to remember. Good job.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. He broke it down well. And here's the deal: that AIDA, whatever, that's been out since Napoleon Hill was writing Think and Grow Rich. It's been out. That was the standard. That was the standard, and it still is the standard. It's not like obsolete. It's not old. It's been renamed. It has the same effect. It's been renamed. But I do need to stress this to you as we close, that if Ibrahim is writing cartoons on Instagram, so what? What's his competitive advantage? Humor, sarcasm, saying what everybody else is saying. I mean, saying what everybody else is thinking, but not saying, like the romantic excuse to ignore red flags. Somebody went, you know what, you damn sure right. And that there is social currency enough for me to go, let me post this. Because Tamika has been out of line, ignoring this boy red flags.
Come on, Tamika.
And right there, Ibrahim wins because that relatability. But I'm first in being relatable.
Phil, I just looked up the model you're talking about. So interest would be the reason to discover. So that's what people are interested. It would be the reason to discover. And then looking good would be desire. That's what would make people like, yeah. So I think that's how it gets superimposed.
And you got it. You got it good too.
And then what's after that? Is it close?
So yeah, the close
attention
part
into
is
desire.
So because it's not completely modeled around those, so the close would just be built in because it's not like a stage for stage swap. So awareness and interest are piled into discoverability, which is like give people a reason to discover, and then interest and then the close is just compiled because again it's a consolidation of pre-existing models. It's just lumped into looking good. So if you look good enough, people just close themselves, or so the whole thing is just,
that's how it works today. No, that's what the internet has done. Yeah, the internet has changed the close model to every point of the model. Right, and every stage of your absolutely.
Because they would see there was a guy, J. Douglas Edwards, would teach 13 closes. There was actually 13 closes that you would do. Wow. The alternate choice close, the Ben Franklin close.
Oh wow!
So the internet has taken that close function and spread it out under all of them.
All of them.
Always be closing, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Ibrahim in his model, he didn't even know he was doing it right, but that's because the stuff doesn't change. He doesn't have a closed section because there ain't no closed section on the internet anymore. Somebody's going to hear this on podcast and close in 5 minutes. Somebody's going to close in 27 and then close. There is no close no more on the internet because the whole internet is a 100% no pitch. We actually don't like the people pitching us on the internet. Gary Vee would say add value, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't like the people pitching over the internet at all. It's 100% no, like whatever you do is a webinar at all times. At all times, you're doing a 95% no pitch for sure. So that's it for today. And let me do what Ibrahim did and give you the 3 points. Arlen Brooks' mode of discovery. So remember that That's your mode of discovery. That's your mode of discovery. And Tony, what was important today? This idea of I need to be discovered. But why though, Tracy? Because you suck. And if you suck, you need to be cool enough not to suck. Well, how do I get cool not to suck? Well, you got to look good, is what's in Ibrahim's model. It is what it is. Because if you don't have enough social proof or social currency, and we're using these things interchangeably, in some ways they are, in some ways they're not. If you don't have this, Tracy, you're automatically presumed to suck. Like, I need y'all to get that. Like, your business automatically is trash until you rise above. Right. This is what because the internet has given us so much choices. It is much easier for me to just choose to put you with all the people I'm not going to buy. I don't have levels for that. Right. Because it takes too much. I'm already decision fatigued by 9 a.m. So I'm not fit to make it. I'm not fit to say, well, you're somebody that sucks, but maybe I'll buy from you if you do this. No, I'm not even you. You automatically, you suck. But I'm Shelly and I suck. Oh. Until you rise above in that social currency, you are garbage. But I got the best technology in social media. Doesn't worry about it. Wait 6 days, Mark Zuckerberg's gonna steal your technology anyway. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Facebook in 6 days. So it doesn't matter how much you're doing it. Well, only thing that matters is, can you be relevant on the internet? Yes. How? Something I always tell you, you can't be relevant without being a resource. But being a resource without social proof and social currency, well, you ain't a resource. You're just a sucky resource I don't need. There it is. Though that's your recap to tell you the steps I'm doing, because I know some of y'all like to steal from me and do it to yours. I'm using YouTubers because it's social media. It's a one-to-one trade-off. Social media, YouTube is a social media. It's just a one-to-one trade-off. The people who control YouTube, I want them to come control Vibing. The more they control Vibe, the more they control Arlenbrook, is the more we make money. Come control over here, you get paid more. Easy. The second one is Ibrahim. That's the written word dominating Google, but with press. So everything he writes is a press release. It's just an entertaining press release by somebody else, okay? On some Forbes or something like that. And then I forgot what I said third. Some sort of street term thing that I'll think of, like on fleek or something like that. I want to get flued out, something like that, right? Whatever. And then podcasts. But notice, give me 1 minute, Grace. Notice I got this stuff planned out before I started. I'm not in February, so I'm not making this up in February. I have it right now. So when it happens in February, I got 2 things working out for me, Tracy. Number one, when my YouTube thing doesn't work, because it won't work the first day, I know it's going to work. I get to stick to my guns. Sure. 2, I get to make up new things as the data comes in my direction, and they just enhance the foundation I've already built. So if you are not here right now, take the whole day, and by Monday when we come back, you need to have every single thing that Phil was saying, Ibrahim was saying, I have said about your business. What is your mode of discovery? How are you going to look good? What is your plan to get 10 reviews? What's your plan to get 100 reviews? And then Ibrahim said, then I want to get to 1,000. And then after that, he said, I'm holding pictures until I get to a certain point. That's smart. He's saying, until my key performance indicators say this, I can't launch the next phase of my marketing because I haven't done enough. That's all he's saying. Yeah, it feels right. That's all he's saying. He said, I got some key performance indicators. I'm going to hold this because I don't want my good marketing to fall on deaf ears. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes total sense. So have this plan. That's marketing research. And in my case, it's research and development, because there's a little text out on this thing. But it's the same damn thing. It's, if you don't think this is true, this is the last example I give you as we end. Here's Deanna. She was saying, we was driving out. She was like, man, Nobody ever makes good on this building right here. Ever since I was a kid, Phil, ever since like that, whoever to put on FM 1765 and Westward, that place right there when you go into Carver Park, right across the gas station. There's always a gas station that works, but that building right across the street. And I told Deanna, I said, look, it's been about 80 businesses in that building. That's 80 dummies. Because there is something about that location. I swear to God, I said, because Trump tried to tell you, location. There is something about that side of the street that nobody likes. And it's so subconscious that we don't even recognize we're rejecting these people's dreams. And maybe, and I'll tell you what it is, because I said maybe, because there's a stoplight there, and there's no parking spots, and the only way to pull in that field is you got to go on that little battery power. The only way to pull in that field is you got to go past the light on the highway, the main highway of the city, and zoom into the parking lot. And I think subconsciously people just don't want to do that. It's just too much stress. You get it? It's just, I've been stressing all day. Me trying to stress to hit my gas and then brake, I don't feel like doing it. So what do? They comfortably go into the one on this side. Am I telling you I'm right? Nope. But I'm telling you that's what market research and that's what research and development does. That's what market and research does. To a smart guy like Phil says, Ibrahim, don't open up right there. Go on that side of the street. Same street, but have your gas station controlled by the light. So people can feel ease when they pull out. Because if not, you're going to be doomed. And it's the same concept we're talking about with your business. Your market discovery, your motive of discovery, your social currency is simply restated back in 1970s college, market and research. How are you going to get your thing in somebody's hand? And if you can't respect that, if you cannot do that, if you won't do this work, February 1st is going to come and you're going to be pissed off. Like if you don't have your motive discoveries down now, you're going to be upset. You're going to be like, this doesn't work. It does work. You didn't work. You learned, but you didn't work. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't play better. You can't dominate. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, sorry I'm streaming Monday, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard with Phil and Susan. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim. You were valuable today. Well, you're always valuable. You were extremely valuable today. Love you, everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.